Hasn't sipped any of her first coffee of the morning. Oh, that first sip is always so good. So good. All right, the live stream should be starting soon. There we go. All right, welcome to Magical Money Manifestations. I'm your host. Hello, hi, bonjour. Jumbo, Valorie Lewis, and I am a psychic medium, also a tarot and oracle card reader. I started my spiritual path as a practitioner with tarot cards. So I have been doing this particular event for almost 5 years, if not over 5 years now. I started in 2020. I'm not sure exactly what month I started this event in, but I started in 2020. So we've been doing this for quite a while. I still enjoy it just as much as I did when I started it way back in 2020 and intend to continue it. What is today's event? For those of us that are new, do we have any new first timers? If so, put a star up or put it over in chat that this is your first time. So today's event, the way it runs is I pull tarot cards first, usually about 5 tarot cards. We get the messages from those cards for the collective. And then, yay, hi, Crystal, first time here. Whoop, whoop. Hello, everyone say hello to Crystal and also to Annie. So we pull approximately five tarot cards, usually 5 tarot cards, and then we move on to oracle cards. Between the tarot and the oracle card, Spirit absolutely definitely weaves this message in through the cracks, through channeled messages that I receive and then relay on to the group. My preference as I read for the collective, you all know that this is also broadcast onto YouTube so that you can always catch the replay, and so that the collective out there who is drawn to this type of recording and information can also find the replay. So if you are part of this collective, our group here on the live, or part of the larger collective, just know that this message is for you whenever and however it reaches you. Please also know that if you are part of this live group collective, the messages and the insights I give are usually more tailored to this group. So I encourage you to join us live for one of these sessions in the future, but the information is always, always relevant, even if you are catching this on replay. So go ahead and take a moment to center yourself, to focus your energy, to ground yourself, however that might be comfortable for you. It could be as simple as taking a deep and slow inhale and exhale, just to bring yourself into this present moment. Gently ask the universe for what you would like to receive guidance, support, wisdom, clarity on today. Give you just a moment to clarify your asking. And then we're going to switch to receiving mode. That can be as simple as stating to the universe, I am ready to hear what you have to offer. Or it can be your own message to the universe that you are switching and shifting into receiving mode so that you can receive the messages that the universe, spirit, your guides are wanting to share with you today. And once you feel that you are all settled in and prepared, I am going to, I'm noticing some of my cards are not facing the right direction, which means we're going to have reversals in today's reading. We don't often have reversals, but today we are, because I'm not going to take the time to straighten my deck out. So, where was I at? What was I saying? I don't know. I've lost my place already. I know what I was going to say. Duh. I'm going to provide you all with a very brief, very, very brief, super mini energy clearing, and it's mostly for my benefit, so I can just settle into this moment. So if you can pause for just a moment, you can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open. You just need to sit for just a moment as I clear the energy of this group. And what I'm clearing away is just any negative or restrictive blocks that we might be challenged with at this time. We're not necessarily going to clear them away, but we're going to clear the pathway to understanding, clarity, and support, allowing ourselves to be open channels and receivers of the messages from Spirit. Feel that energy wash over you, clear you, cleanse and support you. Okay, that was the extra little bit I needed to get focused for today's reading. Let's pull some tarot cards, shall we? As I'm pulling these cards, I want to talk about one of the things that's got me needing a triple mocha espresso today, which I don't, I just have regular coffee, is because I stayed up. I was in joy. I was in my excitement. Don't worry, I wasn't in struggle or panic. I stayed up in joy and excitement, lost track of time because that's what my ADHD does to me. But for a majority of last night, because I am crafting an exciting program for you all, and I hope you all maybe have already seen that posted on Meetup. It is for our spiritually minded entrepreneurs. I am launching a program, which you will have the information on later today. I'll just say later today. I won't say evening or afternoon. Later today, you will have the information for the full program. But for right now, there is a free webinar that will launch this program. The free webinar is available to you now and is happening tomorrow. And I hope you go find that on Meetup, on Tarot Unicorns and Coffee, and sign up for that webinar if you are interested in starting or propelling your spiritual business forward. Go ahead and check that out. The webinar is called Ignite Your Business Success. So look for that title. Got a beautiful phoenix as the illustration. I also have Interstellar Energy Healing and Clearing happening this Wednesday. I should mention for tomorrow's events, I did 2 different time frames, so you get to pick which ones work for you. There's a 1 p.m. Central Time frame and a 5:30 p.m. Central Time frame. They're the same event. You can attend both if you want, but I did that to make sure everybody got in on this program in the first 48 hours because that's when I'm giving you a lot of discounts. So make sure you join that webinar. Then on Wednesday, this Wednesday, the 5th, I'm also doing Interstellar Clearing, Healing, Rebalancing. You can check that out also on my Tarot Unicorns and Coffee and also on the Awkwardly Partner with Awkwardly Zen site to get all the details for that event. Many of you here have attended that event in the past, and I always hear how much you enjoy it. So make sure you get signed up for that as well. Okay, moving on to today's tarot reading. The deck that we are pulling from is Tarot of the Dragons. Because so much of my energy was focused on the fire, the Ignite Your Business thing that I was working on through the night, the Phoenix, I thought, of course, we're going to go with one that has fire indicated on the cover and that we often associate dragons with their ability to breathe fire. So let's see what our tarot messages are today. I'm trying to keep an eye on chat as well. My chat is not docked like it should be. I don't know how to do that when it's not docked. Oh, I found it. Okay. Oh, yay, Deb. I didn't know this was your first time here. I recognized your name, but I didn't know this was your first time here. Yay, glad you're here. Jacqueline is going to put links over there in the chat. And Jacqueline, I'm going to ask you because I didn't have time to do it. If you could kindly go to my calendar and find those Tuesday events for tomorrow and post both the links for the 1 p.m. and the 5:30 p.m., I would greatly appreciate that. All right, let's get into tarot. Here we go. Oh, I can see me too. Our first card is a reversal. So how interesting is that we start the week out, our very first message is a reversal. For those of you that are not familiar with tarot, when we pull a reversal, when I pull a tarot reversal, let me talk about how I read the energy of a reversal. A reversal means either this is where we are in negative aspects of the message being offered, or this is where we might be headed if things don't change for us. I always read these as what the message is and how we flip it upright. How do we get into positive aspect with this? So let's talk about the message first, what this card is. It is the 7 of Swords. And as you can see from the image, I can get the glare off of it a little bit. The 7 of Swords is a card that usually comes up when there is deceit, cunning, or strategic methods present. Here we see a young dragon trying to slowly pull that bone away from the older dragon that's sleeping. Thievery, deceit, theft indicated, but also being sneaky, being cunning, being strategic. Think about how strategic this young, energetic dragon has to be. They have to take some deep breaths. They have to calm themselves down. They have to be real quiet, which is usually not characteristics of a young child. And then they have to really try to be slow as they try to get that prize that they covet out of the arms of the older dragon. Is there some of this going on in your life? When this card comes up, swords indicate our thinking and communication, usually our thought process when it comes to the Seven of Swords, but could indicate communication too. Are you being deceitful in your communication with others? Maybe not knowingly deceitful, maybe not deceitful from a bad place. Maybe you're trying to hide some ideas or some facts that you think might harm someone else. So you're being deceitful, air quotes, because you're not revealing the full truth. Could this be possible? Abso-fucking-lutely, because we are currently in retro shade with retrograde coming up in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And what does Mercury retrograde do? It sometimes makes us review our communication styles. It often makes us review and bring to the surface things that we are not clearly communicating on. So of course we would get this card of the Seven of Swords saying, check your communications. Are you being deceitful in any way, knowingly or unknowingly? Also, are you being deceitful with yourself? Do you still have that mind chatter that is holding you back, limiting you, distracting you from your goals, that is not telling you the complete truth, that's telling you stories like you're not ready, you're not strong enough, you need to study some more, you don't have enough skills, don't do that thing because that thing is not going to turn out the way you want it to turn out? Do you have a soul-crushing dream crusher in your voices that is providing you with this level of deceit? It doesn't always have to be coming from an outside source. It could be the voice in your head. It could be coming from the phone call, could be coming from within the house. Maybe that's what's going on with you as well. Remember though, this was in reverse. So what does it mean when we get a somewhat negative card in reverse? Dun, dun, dun. What does that mean, Spirit? I'm asking Spirit what that means in this moment. And Spirit is saying it means this is upcoming. If this was the present situation, this is not the present situation, but this is something that you need to be forewarned about, which is a very unique way of reading a reversal. I haven't read a reversal that way before, but that's what Spirit told me is the message. It's in reversal because it's not quite fully in deceit mode. It's approaching deceit mode. It's not quite there, which is why it's in reversal. I hope that makes sense because it's barely making sense in my very tired brain. So this is a forewarning, a suggestion to be on alert for this so that when those stories, those self-perpetuating stories show up in your mind that are deceitful, or maybe there's someone in your realm that is giving you a deceitful story or a deceitful storyline, whether or not they intend harm, does not have to mean that they intend harm. They could be the exact opposite, intending to protect you, but deceit might still be present. What do we do about that? Well, we ask for Spirit's guidance in uncovering the light and uncovering the truth. And that's about all we can do in these situations. I'm not hearing that we need to take any action to go out and hunt down those deceptive people. We just need to turn within and ask Spirit, show me the light. If someone is lying to me, show me the light. Let it come to light so that I know what the truth is, so that I can operate from a place of truth, clarity, and transparency. Doesn't matter what other people are doing. It matters what you're doing, and it matters what your connection to Spirit is, because Spirit will always show you the light if you ask for it and if you're in a position to receive it. So that's what I have to say about the Seven of Swords. It's more of a forewarning, a be on the lookout. This might be present. Keep yourself alert, and here's what to do if it happens. Ask for Spirit's connection. Next up, we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, interesting. So we've got two cards. This first card is showing someone holding on tightly to their possessions. And the second card is showing someone holding on tightly to their possession. The Four of Pentacles is just that. Pentacles are those things in this universe that we consider valuable. Pentacles are also very firmly connected to earth energy, root chakra energy, stability, anything that is physically manifested in this world that we place value upon can be represented by the suit of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles does represent the first signs of stability, but it also shows that as this dragon began to get the first influx of pentacles into their life, value into their life, things that they've been asking for, manifestations into their life, that they immediately held on to those newfound manifestations, that newfound sense of stability, held on to it for dear life. And this is a twofold message. Yes, you are about to receive some of the things that you asked for. Make sure in the receiving of it that you stay in the flow, that you don't stop the flow of it. What does that look like? That looks like asking for money for groceries. And then you get said money for groceries. And then you immediately go into fear because you remember what it's like to not have money for groceries. And instead of going to the grocery store and spending the money that spirit has allowed to flow to you, you go to the thrift grocery store and you buy a month's worth of ramen noodles. That's holding on too tightly to the abundance. That's stopping the flow because you're fearful of what happens if I don't have enough next month. Instead of saying, I have enough for now. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy the food that I actually need that's actually going to nourish me, not the unhealthy ramen noodles that's not even real food. So that's what it looks like in practical terms. Think about any area of your life where you have managed to manifest something, allow something into your life, and then instead of allowing it to flow the way you intended when you asked for it, you allowed it to flow to you, you got into fear, and you kind of held on to it a little bit tighter than what you said you were going to. I told Spirit that if I got this money, I was going to go out and treat myself. And then I got this money and I got real scared that I wasn't going to get no more money. And so I said, I better not treat myself. I better be responsible. Whatever that looks like for you, you know what that feeling is of fear when you receive a manifestation and instead of being in joy, you have fear about what if I don't do this again? That's what this card is about. Can you maintain the flow? Can you stay in flow and realize that here's a mantra for you. If I did it once, I can do it again. The first time is always the most challenging. Four of Pentacles, that's the message there. And then we move on to Six of Pentacles, which is a very similar message. The Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving, so it's still about being in the flow. It just takes a different aspect of it, whereas this is pointing to a situation where you might stop the flow or have a tendency to stop the flow. This is pointing to the more positive aspect of how can you stay in the flow of giving and receiving. Six of Pentacles. I'm going to go to the book for that one because I've seen this. I pulled this card from this deck before. I want to hold it up so you can see what's going on. Notice the wildlife and the dragon here. And then I'm going to read the definition from the book because I do like this book's definition of this card. Six of Pentacles. And y'all look how big these pages are. I don't need my glasses today. All right. Six of Pentacles. It is harvest time, and in days of bounty and boon, no one is as generous as the dragon lord of the forest. He holds court on the mossy riverbank, gifting grateful, what kind of bears? Grateful, gifting grateful bears with the abundant catch of salmon. Winter will be long and hard, and they have cubs to care for. The dragon understands this and does what he can. He is the apex hunter in the woods. His stomach is full, and he does not mind sharing, especially with those in need. Thus, vole and owl, deer, badger, and catamount all respect him and welcome the rule of his benevolent paw. Fortunes are restored, but the memory of hard times lingers, and from our memories we learn. Even in the material world, there is a quest for balance. That sounds also like the message from the Four of Pentacles. Riches serve no one if hoarded, but everyone when shared. Can I say that again? Can somebody write this down and post this on social media? We need to all post this on social media right now. Riches serve no one if hoarded, but everyone when shared. Now I'm going to pause a minute and interject a message from Spirit, because a lot of us hear that statement and we immediately want to go after those in our society, in our communities, in our friends group who are rich, whatever and however we define that term, those who have immense wealth. And we want to say things like, they have more money than they know how to spend. We want to say things like, they should be doing XYZ with their money. That is not what the message from Spirit said. Listen again to the message from Spirit. Riches serve no one if hoarded. The message is about not hoarding riches. The message is not about not becoming rich, wealthy, abundant. We are all here to be rich, wealthy, and abundant. We're just not to hoard the flow that comes to us. Now, whether we use that abundance on ourselves or choose to share it with others, that's up to us. It can still serve you if you choose to spend that abundance on your own luxury and abundant life. There is no kickback from Spirit on doing that. Spirit is saying, I gave you that money, now spend it to make your life more joyful. So, riches serve no one if hoarded, but they serve everyone when shared. And that includes you. You are allowed to share your own wealth with yourself. So this is not an admonition against no one should be rich and everyone should be equal. Absolutely not. Spirit is not saying that. Spirit is saying everyone should be rich and wealthy and abundant. And when you see someone that has something that you want, your job is to raise yourself to their level, not to try to bring them down to your level of lack and scarcity. All right, compassion without action does little good. Oh, let me go back. Be gracious and generous is the statement that comes next. Compassion without action does little good. Spread the wealth and rejoice in watching little things grow. And when the tide turns, for tides always do, cast pride aside and seek help as needed. It will come your way, possibly from the most unexpected source, which is another way of saying sometimes you are the hand that gives and sometimes you are the hand that receives. Be generous when you have it to give and be humble when you need to receive. 6 of Pentacles. Next up from these messages, as we course correct and get ourselves in the right energy to receive and to know what to do with the things that we are receiving and manifesting, next up we have the Ace of Wands. And here we have a beautiful depiction of that fire energy. I knew the dragons would come through with the fiery scene for me today. Ace of Wands. Aces are ones. They're fresh new starts, new beginnings, openings, portal openings. One. Wands is that personal energy. Wands are fire. I'm going to read straight from the book because this book also gives a page that tells you what the suit definition is. I love this deck, y'all. Wands are fire. They are primal energy, the inspiration and will out of which creation begins. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We're going to go and see what the Ace of Wands message is. Beneath the torrid skies of late summer, a dragon's egg opens, presenting its hidden treasure, a single wand to the world. It is hatching day, a time of beginnings and untapped potential. When every newborn deserves a boon. In the shadow of 3 volcanoes, there in the background. Wild pyramids of wisdom and spiritual power, the cosmic fire dragon unfurls his wings and blesses the hatchling with an incandescent puff of dragon breath. The gift of fire. There's a spark of energy. Creativity crackles. The thrill of a new enterprise is in the air. Ambition is no longer a dirty word, but an inventive force. Projects long forgotten take on new life. Dormant passions awaken. All things seem possible. I love this message, and this really lines up with the work that I've been doing personally. So I love this message. I'm sure this message resonates with some of the rest of you as well. And this is speaking directly to those projects, those situations that need a breath of fire, that need a spark, that need to be ignited. Wink, wink. That's the title of my webinar for tomorrow, Ignite Your Spiritual Business. But this is Spirit saying this energy is present for you, is available to you. Do you need a kickstart to whatever thing you are trying to accomplish in your life this week? This fire dragon's breath is available to you. The gift of fire is available to you. And then last for this week in tarot cards, we have beautiful, beautiful death. So we just had the birth, gift of life, bring it to life. And then we have death. Dun, dun, dun. Death is not a bad card in the tarot. And I find it very interesting that this card comes first and then this card comes second. Interesting sequence. So first we are bringing something to life. And then almost simultaneously, Spirit says to us, I can go no further with this. In order for you to grab, I've sparked the wand. Here's your magic. I set it ablaze with all the creativity, all the will, all the inspiration, all of the oomph, all of the fire, the passion that you need. I set it ablaze. I gave you the gift of fire. I gave you this beautiful wand that you can grab and wave over your life to create the magic that you've been asking for. Here it is. Here's your gift. In order for you to grab that wand and use that wand, this has to happen. It's there. It's there for you to grab it, but this has to happen first. What's this, Valorie? Death and rebirth. Oh, that lines up with my program too, Phoenix. Y'all, I'm sorry, shameless promotion. I can't help it. The cards are doing it, not me. Death and rebirth. Because my program, the theme is Phoenix being reborn. But the death and rebirth needs to happen in order for you to grab that wand that's being offered to you, which means there is still some aspect of yourself that cannot grab this wand. The old version of you cannot wield the power of this wand. Maybe think of this as Excalibur's sword. You know how it takes, or Thor's hammer. I really like Thor's hammer instead. You know how it takes a special something, power within, whatever, to be able to wield those tools. I'm going to call them tools, not weapons. That's what this card is about. The old, doubting, fearful, resistant, challenged version of you cannot wield the wand that's being offered. The new version of you can. So we need to let that old version die away, let that new version be reborn, so we can pick up that wand and create what we want to create in this world, because that is what we came here to do. We did not come here to muck about with other people's creations. We came here to create our own damn creations, our own damn reality, regardless of what the world has told us is possible. We came here as creators in the image of the Creator. How many of y'all have heard that phrase across multiple religions? We came here to create. What? I don't think I said it enough times. We came here to create. What are you creating this week? How are you creating? Are you stepping into this energy? Or are you still mucking about, complaining and bitching and moaning about other people's creations that you have to put up with? It's not what you came here to do. That is not what you came here to do. All right, so that's our tarot cards. Where are we going to go next? We are going to go, ooh, I've got a tower of tarot decks and they almost toppled. I was like, tower moment. Wouldn't that be funny? A tower of tarots toppling in a tower moment. I need more coffee for these oracle cards. Okay, first up for the oracle cards is super attractor. I just feel like that's fitting. That's on point with what are we trying to use that wand for? And how can we more effectively use it? And also, I have no doubt that everyone in this group is going to receive that message and intuitively know how to act on it, so that they do move into the newer version of themselves, and so that they do pick up and wield that wand and start creating something this week. Doesn't matter how little or small. Start creating, start manifesting. I firmly believe that everyone is capable of that, and everybody's going to do it, because guess what? My group is full of badasses and we know how to create. We just need a little guidance here and there. So I know y'all are going to go out there and create what you need to create. And I don't know why, but I'm pulling 3 cards from this deck. This is more of an affirmation deck. It's Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein. There is no guidebook, just cards with messages. And we have 3 for today. My usual is 1 card, but we have 3. Oh, this is perfect. I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. So we just talked about discarding that old version of us that might be fearful to take the next step forward. Fear is a habit. It is not a set point. It is not a way of being. It's a habit, and habits can be broken and new habits can be replaced. I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. The next card. How are we going to walk this path once we have that wand in hand? Well, when I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear direction, and great wisdom. That's how we're going to walk the path. We're going to make sure we're connected so that we can receive that guidance. Showing up to events like this is a good one. Sitting in meditation to get that guidance, using your own tools of divination to get that guidance. Okay, so we got that wand in hand because I know all of y'all are going to get that wand. All of y'all are going to get that wand. Put that on your mirror, put that on your Post-it notes, write that in your journal. This week's mission, get that motherfucking wand. I'm going to get that wand. I'm going to get that wand. What are you going to do when you get the wand? I'm going to be directing my focus onto what's thriving so that I create more of what I want. I'm not going to use that wand to wave it around, to make things in my life disappear, to make the angry boss disappear, to make the screaming kids shut up, to make the money in my bank account. I'm not going to use that wand to get rid of the things I don't want. I'm going to direct that wand at the things that are already thriving in my life so that I can create more of what I do want, which is the only path to easy manifestation. Can you manifest on the other path? Absolutely. That's the struggle bus. You can still manifest. We manifest all the time. If you want ease and flow, you're going to want to direct all your attention to what is already flowing, what is already thriving, so that you can create more of that. I don't have nothing in my life that's thriving, Valorie. Trust me, I have so many people tell me that. Nothing is thriving. Everything is shit. No, it's not. You got an internet connection, which is giving you the ability to bitch and moan to me about what's not working. Or you have a phone because you're texting me on the messages. And I'm not talking specifically to any of y'all. Trust me, I don't talk about my clients like that. I'm talking in general terms for the collective. The collective comes forward oftentimes during this period of distress. I myself spent many years in a period of distress where if you said what's thriving in your life, I would say absolutely nothing. That was my story for a very long time. I resonate with that strongly. And I do not mean to discount anyone who is currently in that position, but I mean to say there is always something that is thriving in your life, always. Because if there wasn't, you wouldn't still be here. I know this because I talk to dead people all the time. There is always something thriving in your life. Find it and focus all of your attention on that one thing. No matter how small you might think it is, if you focus on that teeny tiny thriving thing in your life, more will come to join it. Always abundance. Might be an abundance of lack. Yes, I say that all the time. I say that all the time. Absolutely. All right, next oracle. Where should we go? Oh, yes. Fire denotes action. Action is a divine masculine energy, whereas receiving is a divine feminine energy. So I'm going to my divine masculine deck of gods and titans to ask us, What energy can we utilize this week to ignite, illuminate, bring fire to our path to help move us forward? Which God or Titan can help us? Not what I was expecting, but sure, let's see what the message is. Dionysus, ecstasy. Look at him. We all know, well, most of us know the story of this god. Let's see what the message is. Oh, I love that message over in the chat. Thank you, Charlie. I mean, if ramen is your jam, listen, somebody showed me how to, should I tell this story? I think I'm going to tell this story. Don't ask how, but somebody told me how to make prison ramen. That's what they called it, prison ramen. And basically it's ramen with a bunch of ingredients added that makes it look like a 4-course meal, makes it really, really tasty. But they called it prison ramen because it's what they do in prison when they add their rations all together. That stuff is tasty. So if your jam is ramen and you're doing it in a place from joy, and I really enjoy this meal, go for it. But if you're doing it from a place of scarcity or lack, then I want you to reconsider what you're doing. Okay, Dionysus, let go. Feel the freedom of pleasure at its most divine. Notice how it puts the pleasure and divine in the same category. Reject the mundane. Now I understand why this message came to us today, because that sounds like passion to me. That sounds like what lights you up on the inside. We have all felt it at one time or another, that feeling of completely and utterly letting go, a feeling of total elation, sweet freedom, and release. This is the free-flowing energy of the Greek god Dionysus. As one of the most misunderstood deities, many believe being a follower of Dionysus means nonstop partying, but honoring Dionysus goes far deeper than that. He is a liberator. Women and minorities of ancient time were restrained in society and not as free to grow and contribute to a society as they are now. The idea of having no restrictions and total freedom appealed to them. This made Dionysus popular, and his cults became powerful. The Maenads, I might be saying that wrong, the women who served Dionysus held the most secretive of rituals. His Roman equivalent, Bacchus, was the inspiration of the famous Bacchanalia festival, when slaves became masters, women dressed as men and men as women, and laws could be broken without punishment. This kind of spiritual activity is cathartic in nature. It allows change in body, mind, and spirit, birth, death, and rebirth, there's that theme again, which allows a fresh and revitalized start. Dionysus is also the god of the theater, with a huge theater named after him on the slopes of the Acropolis in Athens. Increasingly, our culture encourages either binging on or totally abstaining from pleasures. Let me read that again. Increasingly, our culture encourages either binging on or totally abstaining from pleasures. We are either all work or all play. Those of us who feel weighed down by responsibilities experience no play. Perhaps you take your grades seriously and know your future depends on getting into college and choosing the right course of study. Perhaps you feel you have responsibilities for friends or family members, and so you never fully relax. Or you have a job where you work long hours with no relief. While these things are admirable, it is important to sometimes ease up on yourself and have fun. Connecting with Dionysus' gift of pure release, is profoundly relieving. You can achieve this. Here we go. Here's how we get there. Here's how we call in that energy. You can achieve this by dancing, singing, play acting, or even doing something that you used to do when you were younger and feel too mature to do now, like swinging or playing on a playground. In fact, anything that takes you away from yourself and into pure fun for a time can help you unwind and be more productive. So think about that and see if you can practice that today and throughout the week. So that is our message from him. Let's see, some symbols: grapes, theater, scroll, androgynous looking man, and honey. And the reason why I like reading the symbols from this book on Goddess is when you go throughout your week now, Monday through Sunday, and you see any of these symbols, that is spirit trying to connect you to this energy. Grapes, theater, scroll, androgynous looking man, or honey. Maybe those will be little keys in your brain that, oh yeah, I remember that was one of the signs from spirit that I'm supposed to be having fun. See how many times those symbols show up for you this week. That'll be a fun experiment. All right, let's see. Where are we? Where are we on time? I want to go to Star Codes Astro because we do have some retrogrades. And this card has a specific card about retrogrades and the energy. We have Venus in retrograde. Venus is a very powerful planet. You might want to look that up and see how that might affect you. And very soon, in the next week and a half to 2 weeks, we will have Mercury in retrograde. So let me flip to the part that explains retrogrades, which is card number 15. Retrograde, review. Retrograde gets a bad rap, especially Mercury retrograde, but the retrograde cycle is a truly helpful and necessary time. It's nothing to worry about, just something to work with. The planet is in retrograde when it appears to reverse the direction of its journey axis across the sky from our perspective here on Earth. It's an optical illusion. As the planet revisits its path, you get to review your life. So the action to take as we enter these retrogrades, especially if you feel them, if you're empathic, you will probably feel them more emphatically. Stop the normal patterns of your life and take a break. Maybe this is the have fun part too. The roots of this issue are found in the past. Reconsider, revise, repair, and edit. Dig in a drawer to find an old idea to bring forth and rework it. Reconnect with old friends and previous contacts. Address some unfinished personal business. Look again and find lost items and missing information. A delay may be you're saving grace in this situation. So check equipment, read the fine print, and make sure that everyone is on the same page and that it's safe to move forward. So use this retrograde to slow down, to review, and to recalibrate. Don't fear the retrograde. Give me just a second here. Okay. And that's all I'm going to read about retrogrades. Just to give you a little heads up, a little spiritual insight. Let's see. We got about 10 minutes left. What other decks should we go to? Boo, boo, boo. I know what deck to go to. I just got to find it. Pretty sure I put it in here. I did. I found it. Because, oh, wait, that's not it. Oh, maybe I didn't put it in here. Well, let me look one more time. I'm sure I did. Ha. One moment, please. Divine Circus by Alana Fairchild. Because it's a motherfucking circus out there on a daily basis, y'all. I don't know if y'all notice. The Not My Monkeys, Not My Circus doesn't even quite come close to scratching the surface of what's going on in the world at large, in the collective. The monkeys are the least of my worries at this point. All right, so let's pull a card from Divine Circus Oracle cards and see what insight can come to us. Bright Baby, card number 40. I don't know that I've pulled this card before, so I'm not familiar with the message, but let's go straight to the book and figure out what it is. Simple truths will help you the most right now. And this makes me immediately think of that first card we pulled about deception. Simple truths will help you the most right now. Complexity is the mind at work, whereas the heart sees with astoundingly accurate simplicity. Don't worry about the details, the hows, the wheres, and the whys. Those answers will come in time. For now, all you need to do is get back to the basics of what is true. And for you, that means stepping into the light. Oh, I love that message. Okay, here's the expanded message. When a painful or confusing feeling grips your mind, situations can seem more complicated than they need to be. The Oracle of Bright Baby tells you that the best and brightest way through even the most apparently complex issues is often the simplest. Saying no, stepping back, voicing your truths, having patience, acting when you need to do so, asking for help. Simplicity can assist you in taking steps day after day until the issue has resolved itself, just as naturally as night melts into day. To heed the healing truths of Bright Baby, you are asked, even if just for now, to drop the complex adult explanations, justifications, interpretations, and stories. I'm going to read that one more again, just so that we understand everything that we're supposed to be releasing and letting go of just for this moment, just for this day, hopefully just for this week. The complex adult explanations, justifications, interpretations, and stories. What is the simplest version of the story you are dealing with in your life right now? And how can you act on that simplicity with truth, compassion, and authenticity? If you aren't sure you can get to simplicity, if the confusion seems too great, the Oracle brings you confirmation that a blinding flash of clarifying insight is on its way. Thank you, Source. Can we all express gratitude for Source for what it's sending our way here this week? Make sure you don't discount the insight as being too obvious or simple, because Spirit is guiding us towards the simple. Oftentimes, the answer you need is right under your nose, just waiting to be discovered, and also as plain as the nose on your face. If you are concerned that something has been spoiled, damaged beyond repair, then the Oracle of Bright Baby brings you good news. It is possible to restore, repair, and return the purity, innocence, and original essence to what you feared was damaged. Innocence is never truly lost. It just gets a bit muddied sometimes and needs a cleanup. If you feel like you have lost your true self or the bright promise of a fresh new opportunity that you regret allowing to pass you by, it's just a matter of clearing out what has kept you away from your light. It's still there within you. It just needs to be rediscovered. Bright Baby tells you there is always a chance to return to the light and begin anew. I love that. I'm going to skip the healing trick and move right to the affirmation in the interest of time. Say the following affirmation aloud to boost the power of this message and integrate it into your body, mind, and soul. You can say it in the morning or in the evening or for a few days or even for a few months or just at the end of today's session. Here's the affirmation. I see loving truths so simple and clear. And the affirmation is not meant to say to make you to stand on its own as a magic trick. You don't just say the affirmation 100 times and it happens. You need to add emotion and belief to that statement. Do you believe it when you say it? So that's that message. Let's see, we got about 5 minutes left. What other decks, Spirit, or other messages do you have to add clarity to our path? It seems like you're giving us some very interesting things to work on this week. Where should we go next, Spirit? Dragon Path Oracle. Dragon Path Oracle. Spirit, what guidance do you have for us this week? And any closing messages? Luna. Associated with the moon, I'm sure. Luna is our dragon. And Luna's statement is embrace and accept what you really feel. As her name suggests, Luna is connected to our moon and her phases. She is a mother figure, and due to her watery nature, she connects to emotions, creativity, and of course, water. Her arrival is a prompt to fully feel your emotions, particularly if you have been avoiding their messages. She urges you to examine them, own them, and release what you no longer need. She says, if you have been feeling overwhelmed, it is fine to ask for help. That's a recurring theme from several of our cards. This is not a weakness, but an acknowledgement that you have been strong for too long on your own. A little self-care wouldn't go amiss either. You can only fully be who you want to be once you embrace and accept what you really feel. Only then can you truly transform. She urges us to follow our creativity and to revisit latent talents, whether they are musical, written, in the field of performing, and so on. She tells me, these activities are good for the soul. You can lose yourself in the moment. Lose yourself in the moment. Eminem always comes to mind when I read that. Become engrossed in a piece of work and embrace the bliss that accomplishes such activities. That also sounds like a recurring message for us this week. Find something that sparks joy in you. Find something that ignites that flame within you. Passion, inspiration, creativity. Do that. Call in the energy of Dionysus. Have some fun. Break your cycle with the retrogrades. Figure out what needs to be revisited. Is there something that you need to revisit latent talents, whether they are musical, written, in the field of performing, and so on? And that all of these activities are good for the soul. It's helping us get back to who we truly are before the storm. That phrase just came to me. Who we truly are before we created challenges on our path. Yes, they are all self-created, no matter how much we want to blame the world around us. Yes, they are all self-created. That is not a bad thing. That is part of our human experience, to create challenges so that we can overcome challenges, so that we can learn and show ourselves our growth and our expansion. So it's not a bad thing. It only becomes a negative thing when we get stuck in the challenge and we don't move through it or we don't overcome it. So this message is coming to you to give you a way to move past, to move down your path with more ease. Luna, what do you need to look at? What do you need to revisit? And how can you feel the feels in order to move forward? Okay, I'm going to end that message here. I know many of you are going to jump onto the next call with Ari at 12. If you're not aware of what I speak of, check out Awkwardly Zen on Meetup, and you'll see today's events listed. I want to remind you once again to keep an eye on your email. I believe most of you are on my email list. We'll be sending out an email later on today with more information on the program. Make sure you get signed up. The event is tomorrow, y'all. 2 webinars, 2 different times, but it's tomorrow, so I need y'all to go get signed up now. Make sure you get all of the information on those events. And thank you again so much. I hope I see some of you throughout the week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. And for the rest of you, I hope I see you all back here next Monday. And go out there and manifest the shit out of your life. You are a creator. Go create something magical this week. All right. Love you all. Bye.